Oh, hey, there we go. We're finally live. All right. And intro. Hello and welcome to Funny Science Fiction, the live edition.
I highly recommend making funny faces when we first go live because that's the first picture it shows when you load it up on YouTube.
Might as well, yeah. I mean, if we're gonna get, tagged with a freeze frame, it might as well be, a funny freeze frame.
I loaded Facebook and all I see is me going.
Well, yeah. That'd be a great one, wouldn't it?
Oh boy.
All right, guys. Well, hey, welcome to the Funny Science Fiction live edition of this here podcast. Glad to have you guys. This, however, is the podcast that features nerdy dad jokes that guys named Biff will probably beat you up for.
And before we get into tonight's show, we need to say thanks to our show partners, River City Tees and Level Up Lightsabers.
And let's roll that beautiful nerd footage.
Here it comes. With over 700 designs to choose from, River City Tees has something for everyone. Need some new nerd merch? River City Tees has you covered. Need funny or sarcastic designs? River City Tees has you covered. Are you looking for a new logo or custom design? Whether you need 1 or 100, River City Tees has you covered. With multiple colors and options for each and every design. With things to choose from like shirts, hoodies, phone cases, coffee mugs, and so much more. Be sure to follow River City Tees on Facebook and Instagram. If you do, you'll get the latest on designs and information about upcoming sales. River City Tees. Let's make a shirt together.
I could listen to that voiceover every day.
Smooth as silk, right? Yeah, the guy's
beautiful voice.
Guy sounds awesome.
I bet that is like one of the nicest people ever.
Probably. And the best part is that, they've got you covered.
They do.
Okay.
All right. Level up lightsabers.
I'm just beating Mick to it at this point. So.
All right. Those are our 2 sponsors, but we have a third. Last but not least, let's watch the video for our group founder, Drayton Allen's newest book, Dances with Aliens.
Introducing the new novel, Dances with Aliens by Drayton Allen. Thomas, the last man on Earth, is stuck being a dog. Not a 4-legged dog that goes woof, but a singing, dancing dog of the theme park variety. The theme park, where Thomas has worked for years, is now overrun with alien kids begging him to perform dances and do tricks. But how could this have happened? Is humanity really gone? How does an intelligent race of aliens develop the technology to travel the cosmos, invade and conquer Earth, yet not recognize a guy in a dog suit? Available at DraytonAllen.com.
All right. And as I say every week,
Al's Toy Barn. I kind of figured that's where you're going. I'm probably wrong on that.
Not this time. Maybe next week. But anyway, as usual, links for all of those will be in the description below.
They're right there. I gotta get my finger on camera.
That one, right there.
It's right there. It's dancing all over the screen. Here's my Shatner.
Fingers.
And tonight we welcome back to the show Mark and Devon from the Fandom Effect.
If they're still here.
There's Devon. Hello, Devon. And Mr. Mark.
We haven't run for the hills yet.
Mark, did we walk in the wrong room? Did we?
I think so.
I think we got into the wrong podcast. I could have swore our schedule said something different.
I am so sorry you guys are here tonight, but welcome.
We're always impressed that you guys come back to this level of insanity. You guys are not rookies here. This isn't the first time you've put up with our stuff. So hey, thanks guys for being here and being willing to put up with us. A couple quick comments to jump back into. John says this is the highlight of his Monday.
He just
course-
likes that I'm locked in our room for an hour.
I was going to say that you beat me to it. And he also says that, Kathleen, you make that face a lot. So,
Yes, I do.
and then, of course, the aforementioned Mick Manhattan. Happy Monday. Happy Monday back to you, Mick. Thanks for stopping by. All right. So, guys, like we said, this is the first time that you guys have been here. But so before we get into tonight's topic, why don't you take a moment to tell everybody about Mark and Devon, the Fandom Effect, where we can find what you guys are doing, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, as you can tell by my glorious setup here, I'm in the middle of moving, so I don't have any of my usual equipment right now.
But you sound beautiful.
Somehow on a really crappy laptop. But yeah, we're focusing on horror this month for obvious reasons. We did some stuff with Mick for last week, so you can catch that episode.
Yep.
I'm doing some ghost hunting stuff for the next couple of weeks, like kind of from a professional standpoint and kind of a independent standpoint. Obviously, those are kind of on every major podcasting platform. Facebook and Twitter are both the same at Fandom Effect. You can catch a lot of the stuff on my Twitch as well, which is just twitch.tv/Bushido Geek. And I'm looking to do kind of like a little bit of a rebrand after the new year. Going to try to update the logo, kind of like just kind of change it up a little bit.
Cool beans.
Awesome.
All right. We have a serious question here. Can I use a level up lightsaber to make a few people's smug faces at work disappear?
Yes.
I mean, you might have to use it a lot, but
There's going to have to be several schmackety wackities there. But if you go into the comment section and you find that lovely link there, you can find one at multiple rates. They have a really cool selection right now. As long as we're talking about this, I might as well bring it up. They have all the flat sabers now, so you can get a version of the dark saber. A whole lot of different things. Really, really cool selection that Alan has brought to Level Up Lightsabers. So very worth the checkout, because they have sabers ranging from I think $119 all the way up to I think the $400 or $500 range, depending on what you're getting and what you're looking for. So there's a wide range there. And one of the coolest things is, and if Nick was had his lightsaber handy, he'd be able to show you that you could hit the button and it has multiple colors right in the blade, so you don't have to pick just one color. And that's kind of the cool thing.
I was at Comic-Con this weekend and saw an amazing cosplay of Darth Deadpool.
Not bad.
Where are the pictures? Where's the video, Nick?
You know what?
Video or it didn't happen.
Now I don't know what to believe in.
By the
I
time
mean,
you
we
walked
saw-
by,
I saw Jason's pictures of Darth Jar Jar from Indiana.
Right? Yeah. They were in Indiana, Nick. I mean, come on.
That's worse than Ohio.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Well,
Ohio's, yeah.
Indianapolis is
I
worse
mean,
than Ohio.
It's
But
apples.
that's
It's not really apples to oranges with that one. I mean, you are basically like just comparing the same things at
right.
this point.
Yeah.
Facebook user says, "Hello, cool people. Glad to see you this beautiful Monday." Drayton Allen drops in and says, "Mick is hoping for a 3-hour extended discussion of the Sting." Oh, we're not even finishing that one, Drayton. That was rude. And John's right. Video or it didn't happen, Mustache Man.
Oh,
oops.
Hey,
okay, so
that
we
would be his lightsaber.
we say for video or it
Going
didn't happen,
on.
but then we got the geisha video that way. So I don't know.
And now I'm out.
Mick, come
You
back.
scared off the Mick.
Come back.
All right.
And
Well,
that
that
guy knows horror, so it's really hard to,
Scare him off, right? Yeah.
Ooh,
He's typically a fan of horror things. So,
I do need to brag while I can for a second.
yeah.
With horror, I won the real to real combat last week against Ron Lippett. I
Very
was
nice.
so proud of myself. I didn't think
Yeah.
I stood a chance, but somehow.
Yeah, she beat our buddy Ron from Crossing the Streams. Available every Wednesday night at 9:30. So
Impressive.
check that out. I love that show. Part of the Jeff DeWaskin network of showiness. So
Now I just have to get a prom dress to Ron, and he said he would wear it because I beat him.
nothing more horrible than Dune.
Tell us how you really feel, Mick.
And Drayton says, I did get a picture of Batman carrying an exhausted Superman.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
That's awesome. And also, if you'd like to be a contestant on Mick's show, it's a pretty cool show. I am not horror compatible. I don't watch any of them. I stay away from the horror movies. They're not my thing. But if you've got an extensive horror knowledge and you want to participate in the reel-to-reel combat, contact my good buddy here, Mick Manhattan, and he will hook you up.
I do know one of his guests this week.
Okay.
John. Mr. Kathleen is going to be on.
Mr. Kathleen.
I already told him, like, you should put your name as Mr. the Girl. He's like, no. He's like, maybe Mr. Kathleen.
You struggling with your saber over there, Nick?
So I haven't played with it in a little bit, and I forgot the button combinations too.
So, Facebook user is actually Ron.
I know that this is a family-friendly show, so that's why I bit my tongue with that one.
And I'm just adding onto the screen because now Mr. Kathleen is a thing. That's a thing. All right, all genres starting in November. All right, cool. Well, then I could probably come on and try and throw down the gauntlet on something there in November, Nick, or Mick rather. Once we get past the horror season. All right, so
Facebook user Mr. Ron needs to allow StreamYard to let us know who he is.
Oh, is that Ron? Is that who
it
that
is?
Was? Welcome, Ron. Glad to have you here, buddy.
As I just go stalking through all of the places that were posted to find the right one.
Perfect. All right, so our topic for tonight, we might as well get to that. We're about 12, 13 minutes into this thing. We've been
only because we're having fun.
We are having fun, and that's half the battle here, right? Like G.I. Joe said.
G.I. Joe.
So,
G.I. Joe.
What did I say?
Nothing.
You're good.
I think we all just
Jane. Personally, I don't know.
I think I'm the only one that didn't say G.I. Joe.
I think we all said it at the same time. So,
and that was because I was too busy thinking about something else. I don't even know.
You're thinking about Duke. All right, so our topic for tonight, and thank you, Train. Our topic for tonight is characters who needed less screen time, or characters that needed to be better written for the screen time that they got. So each of us have picked two characters. And actually, I'm going to let Mark go first tonight because when we were first discussing this as a topic, I was pretty sure his head was going to explode as characters were flying out of his head through his fingers and into the chat. So we each have two characters that we've picked, whether it's superhero movies, fantasy movies, sci-fi, whatever. And I allowed Devon a special exception because he has somebody that I want to attack as well.
What?
Exactly, right? So, Mark, I'm going to let you go first unless you want somebody else to go first.
No, I can go first. And there's so many. Like, there's so many I wanted to dive into, but I stuck to two that were more like, I don't know, I guess my own. So I went with Booster Gold and his brief appearance in Smallville as being just terribly cast and terribly written for what the character actually is.
Okay.
And then Ghost Rider for just being a terribly written movie and terribly scripted movie, and like taking a really iconic, cool character and just butchering it entirely. And just, yeah. And Booster Gold, I'll start with Booster Gold. Like, the character is supposed to be kind of like, you know, he goes back in time to try to like get endorsement deals, but they went so over the top with it that they turned the character into like just like a walking billboard, and they didn't go into like any additional detail about him, which I kind of feel Smallville missed with a lot of people, other than kind of some rare exceptions where they kind of did a good job with some other side characters. But just to me, I'm a huge Booster Gold guy. So to like when he was finally introduced on the TV, and it was just the casting choice was bad. Every line was just like this jokey persona. Like, it just kind of ruined the character, like in terms of TV. And I mean, that's not to say that's not why he's back. He's not a huge, well-known character, but definitely if they're going to introduce a character like that, like they got to flesh it out a little bit. Like, that's where I was disappointed. I felt like they should have introduced the character in a better way and tried to like flesh out the backstory, not just here's this douche from the 25th century. Okay.
Fair enough.
To be fair, though, that actor went on to play in one of the most legendary shows possible, like Sands Through the Hourglass. It is The Days of Our Lives. So that should just prove to you how bad his acting was as Booster Gold.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And then for me, Ghost Rider was my next one. Like I said, there was a lot. I almost went with like Darth Maul as a character that should have gotten more screen time. But I went with Ghost Rider because I wanted to kind of go Marvel and DC with it. And not saying Nick Cage was like a bad acting choice, because I don't have any ideas for who could have played Ghost Rider.
He was a bad acting choice.
Yeah, but I mainly said like it was the writing was so bad. Like there was no
horrible.
like plot. Like the plot was terrible. Like there's so much rich history in that character. Not like in terms of the different iterations of it, but just from like where he gets his powers from, like the Galactus route. I mean, like there's so many different routes to go down with Ghost Rider, and the route that they went down with like this demon thing and like the deals and like Johnny Blade. Like I don't know. It's like it seems so cartoonish, and Ghost Rider is so the opposite of a cartoonish character.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Ghost Rider for my pick of just like that should have been entirely redone, like in its entirety. And I'd like to see like an updated, more gritty, realistic Ghost Rider.
Agreed.
So they kind of did in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They
did.
They did bring in a Ghost Rider, and I think they did a good job with what they had and what they worked with there. I mean, it wasn't like the major story, but it was like it was
a decent subplot.
Yeah.
Ghost Rider Light.
Yeah.
Yeah. His car was a lot better.
Right.
Well, yeah, because you know, the problem with Ghost Rider is like just like you said, Mark. He's a gritty character. He's almost abrasive in a lot of things that he does. But you bring Nick Cage in, and all I can think of him is, honestly, no matter what movie it is, unless it's National Treasure, that's really the only movies I even care about him in anymore. Is I think of him as, Gone in 60 Seconds and the finger gun thing. Past that, I have
no
a hard
Con
time.
Air. You don't get Con Air with.
Don't really care for that movie. It's okay, but and yeah, let's see.
It's a classic good bad movie.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's a very fair point there, Travis, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Bill and Ted's Daughters and Face the Music. Good call. But yeah, so I'm not familiar with Booster Gold. I'll be honest with you. I didn't watch a ton of Smallville, and I'm not all that well versed in DC. So,
Mark, I don't know why we keep coming on this show, man.
Who knows anymore? I do for Nick, but
Kathleen slipped me $20. I mean, that's basically.
I'm okay with that. Whatever gets the job done. We need a decent Ghost Rider to help deal with Galactus when he finally shows up in the MCU.
Yeah,
I'd be okay with that if it's
Just
a well-written Ghost Rider. And
especially because the stuff with the Galactus introduces like Cosmic Ghost Rider, which is like so cool and like such a badass arc. And like, the stuff with him and Galactus is so good. Like, even if you just dive into that a little bit, it'd be so good to introduce that.
Please don't let Galactus be a cloud again. I'm begging Kevin Feige, please do not let him be a cloud again.
Oh, it's played by the fart cloud from Rick and Morty. I just read it up. It's the Flight of the Conchords is the one that's playing him.
Nice.
Oh,
nice. All right. Well, I think those are both good picks. Well done, Mark. If I gave you room for a third one, who would you have selected?
I probably would have gone with increased screen time for Darth Maul. Would have been my third, because I've gotten really into reading the comics on him and like the books written for him, and like the stuff that they tease in the Han Solo movie with him leading like the underground, like essentially pirate ring, and it's like, there's a book that goes into it where he actually is the leader of like 3 different like underground organizations. And trying to like build up his own army to essentially he's realizing that there's stuff he's not being told from Palpatine. So he wants to build up something on his own.
Right.
So in case, stuff hits the fan, he's got something to fall back on, and nothing's ever dove into that in the movies at all. Han Solo just teases it, and it's such an amazing story. Like that would have been so good.
Did you ever watch Clone Wars?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
The,
yeah.
the animated series, I mean.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did. Loved
Okay,
it.
because they go into a lot of that in the
Yeah.
animated series, and they do, in my opinion, do a really good job of bringing out a lot more about Maul
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah, they do.
And
Mick says that, by the way, he wasn't a cloud. His figure can be seen in the eye of the cloud. I'll have to go back and check that out because as many times as I've watched the Silver Surfer movie, I have never seen that. So I'll go back and check it out. Absolutely.
Also with Darth Maul, I don't know if anyone has seen the new Obi-Wan trailer yet, but I was pretty excited.
It's good times.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. That's gonna be awesome. All right, Nick, you're up next. Tell us about your much mustachioed selections.
My very first choice was Ben from Treasure Planet. He is the very talkative robot that comes in the last 20 minutes of the movie and played by Martin Short. I think that was the only reason why it ended up being a thing. It was also like, hey, we got 3D animation now. Let's show you what we can do. And it was like 3D animation in a 2D world kind of thing. But the movie was already like excellent, great. They already had 2 characters that were comic relief. And then they bring this 3rd comic relief character in that just goes way over the top. I think if he was toned down a little bit more and maybe written, he could still be a crazy robot, but I guess take it a little darker, I guess, with the character instead of all loopy and goofy.
Okay.
So you're talking about that, and I'm over here doing the 2 characters that are already comic relief, and you throw in a 3rd character that's over the top. Are you talking about the movie still, or us?
Both.
At that point, you'd be the 3rd character that was.
I
over the
was.
top.
That was my problem. I'm like, I'm the over the top robot. That fits.
I didn't want to say it out loud, but
It makes sense.
He just called you Ben for distraction.
and then my second choice, I was having a hard time with, but I narrowed it down to a character from Independence Day, and it is the friend of Will Smith's wife. I don't even know who she is, but she seems to have like a lot of conversation and stuff, and it's just kind of small talk. And then she goes up on a roof and just she's like, "Yay, take us!" And that's when they blow up the building.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So you don't want to see her at all, basically.
Like, I don't know what purpose she served in the movie other than to create small talk between 2 characters.
I believe that's what they call in the industry a stretch. We need this to be exactly this many minutes. All right, get her up on a roof.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you still could have showed the people up on the roof. We just didn't need to build that connection, that overall like deeper connection with one of the characters up on the roof. Like, were they trying to make us cry or something? Like, oh no.
You need to have that. That's
She's
the whole thing.
dead.
You need to have that whole connection because you need to know, like, that could be you.
No.
Isn't that what Randy Quaid's character was for?
Yeah.
I'm back.
But he was like the comic, one of the comic reliefs, and
He was the crazy man.
yeah.
So, yeah. All right, good. Anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns with Nick's picks?
No.
No, you're good. They're
All right.
solid.
All right,
Solid.
just checking. All right, cool beans. All right, Kathleen.
All right.
I already
First
have
of all-
I already have issues with this though.
I know. First of all, Mom, I'm fine. I'm not being held against my will. She just texted me to double check. Just put it out there for the whole internet to know. I'm good.
It's actually a green screen in a basement. We just didn't want to let people know.
Actually, it is a green screen, and she's locked basically in a corner of a room. But beside the point, yeah,
Close enough.
you're pretty close there.
So yes, I know that I am going to upset so many people with this one. But my first choice was Kylo Ren.
All right. Did you want to
He
get less
either
screen
needed
time?
less screen time or a better writer. And I think almost everybody can agree that the sequel trilogy needs a better writer anyway. I will get it to you, Ron. Don't worry.
See, the funny thing is, I talked to Tim about this, and I said the exact opposite person in that movie needs to have less. Like, they need to promote more Kylo and less Rey. You know, I feel like I get why they did Rey, but at the same time, it's like
I just feel
sucks.
And I agree that if they had given Kylo the main character line a little better, like, he would have made more sense. But this emo Anakin wannabe trying to be Anakin Part 2 is not at all what we asked for.
I think all 3 movies should have had less screen time. Then we would have been really good.
On the nose. On the nose.
There are
One-
things that,
No, I
100%.
do like watching Tim walk through his house shirtless, like Kylo Ren does in the one movie.
that's
Just
a-
the angry look on his face, like, seriously, guys, where's my podcasting equipment? And he's stomping around.
No, but I mean, I think that he either would have been improved by less screen time, by the 3 sequel trilogies never happening, or if they had actually been written well.
the
Yeah.
problem I have with I have 2 problems with Kylo. Number one, I don't mind the way he's written for the most part. I do have a problem. The biggest problem I have with Kylo is the temper tantrums, where
He's a
he-
30-year-old teenage boy.
right, he doesn't get his way, so he throws a temper tantrum, starts beating the crap out of everything nearby with and he's. Although it was funny to see the troopers walk around the corner, realize what's going on, and they're like, "And no, I'm out of here."
Right.
And I resent the fact that he got more screen time than Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And
So-
I actually I know that Harrison Ford wanted Han Solo to be done. I know that he wanted out of that character,
Harrison Hottie Pants.
but
Right.
it is a low blow to have him killed by Kylo. There are
Yeah.
so many better ways to kill off Han Solo.
No, I think I think that's
Well,
And the
from
fact that Chewie didn't just rip Kylo's head off after that.
I think from the terrible movies they already had written, that was probably the best.
Ugh.
Does it count? Wait, but he had bad emo dreams, then
Right.
Luke wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing, right?
thanks,
It's-
Mick.
It's close enough.
To Mick's point, that is why he became good towards the end, is because he didn't kill the children. See, the only reason that Darth Vader became fully evil is all the youngling blood that he had drank after sacrificing each one of them. So,
See, and I will have to go into this with I still haven't watched episode 9.
I refuse to.
Legitimately, John asked me,
Yeah.
he's like, so before you say Kylo Ren, do you want to watch episode 9? I'm like, no.
I was like, no, I refuse to. I can't.
I have it right
I
here on
can't.
my Voodoo account. Does anybody want me to start playing it right now? We can watch it together.
I already, and I mean, that goes into my second, it's not the character that I actually chose, but a second choice character that John was talking to me about was the Palpatine had too much screen time. One movie too many.
Yeah, I mean, technically he did kill hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah. Went to the gray side. No, I think
It was more Gray Jedi is like there's such a deep thing with Gray Jedi. I don't think he really qualifies.
no, not quite for the gray, but yeah.
They did get what's coming to them. I mean, come on, you guys saw them in that movie when Anakin walked in.
Right. I mean,
They were like
it was an obvious slight to somebody who was looking for the title of master and didn't get it, and that little snot walked right up to him and was like,
Yeah,
Master Skywalker.
yeah.
he
like,
was
what?
paid.
Yeah,
Off with his head.
That's an
He got
attack.
paid-
That's
You're right.
that's an
It's a verbal
emotional
attack.
attack.
That's right.
Yeah,
You're
that's
right.
an emotional attack.
He
got-
threatened him.
He got paid under the table by Mace. You know,
yeah, they all had
So-
lightsabers. Like that's you know,
beige,
there's
beige, maybe.
Beige. a beige Jedi.
That, ugh,
It goes
that
really
terrible
well.
real estate beige.
A real estate beige. It looks really good in a nice fall setting. So, that's awesome.
Not
All right.
great tones.
So my actual second choice character was Jenny, the doctor's daughter. So the 10th Doctor gets, I don't even remember what planet they're on, but it's played by Georgia Moffat, who is also the actual daughter of the Doctor, and then became David Tennant's wife. So now she's the wife of the Doctor as well. Anyway, wibbly wobbly. But
Timey-wimey.
see, you can make the references. You need to watch the show.
But do I though?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, fine.
I'll
To
watch
a
episode
certain-
9 if you watch Doctor Who.
To a certain point.
Oh,
Yeah, but like that's like like he gets to watch something really good, and you have to watch pure garbage.
That's true.
Let's see. All Star Wars not named episode 4, 5, and 6. Which would be awesome scat after it's been. I'll show myself out. I'm assuming that's still Ron.
I think so, yeah.
And let's see. In the old EU, Monday one's in a Johnson Master, but still on the console. The planet was Messaline.
Thank you, Mick. I knew that I could count on Mick for that. But
So, did you want her to get less screen time or to be better written?
I want her to be better written. She had almost an entire episode. She dies at the end of the episode. Way to go, Nick. She dies at the end of the episode, but because she is the daughter of a Time Lord, she regenerates. And they
Oh,
leave her story at that. They never show where she is again.
Okay.
And there's
Yeah.
so much more that could have happened. He
I'm
didn't
going to
have
guess
to
she's
be alone.
probably in London because that's where 98% of Doctor Who takes place.
Or Cardiff. Come on.
It's in New
Yeah.
Zealand,
So it's won a couple of planets.
South Africa. They all have the same, dialect, kind of.
All
No,
right.
I think I legitimately think that her story was cut short and they could have done so much more with it, but they didn't. And it
Yeah,
makes me sad.
Doctor Who does rush a lot of people sometimes.
And I'm wondering if now that the writers are switching up again, if maybe they'll somehow pull her story back out of the midst. I'm hoping, because it's kind of gone to the
Hey,
crap
George.
hole lately.
Howdy, George. Drayton suggests that maybe the Weeping Angels got her.
But the
She
Weeping
must-
Angels weren't anywhere near her. So
No, she blinked, so it works.
And Travis is asking, I think this has already got mentioned though, but didn't he marry his daughter?
Yeah, Georgia Moffat married David Tennant, so she is the daughter of the Doctor, the Doctor's wife. And
How about Barty Crouch Jr.? Would that work better for you?
Oh, I love Barty Crouch Jr. Sorry.
All I'm hearing is Doctor Who set to dueling banjos.
And yes, Devon, I know Barty Crouch Jr. is a horrible character,
Horrible.
but it's David Tennant, so I'm going to always
Undocumented
love
Ron
him.
here.
It doesn't matter what character he is.
Oh, I love it. Undocumented Ron here, and I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, taking my daughter to Cardiff next year. Seriously.
That's fantastic.
That's cool.
Also,
Solid.
Doctor Who reference. Sorry.
Let's see. Spin off a new Doctor starring her as and the original K9.
And they drive around in Kit.
I hear a lot of hate on this sci-fi podcast for Doctor Who. No, actually, I think it's just Doctor Who fans being critical of their own show.
I love Doctor Who.
Not as bad as Star Wars fans.
Well, no.
He was out of the room for a second. Well, that's what you get, Travis. Things move kind of quick over here. All right, yeah. I don't think there's any hate for the Doctor or
Just from
any
you.
of the Doctors. No, actually, I don't hate Doctor Who. I've tried to get into. I've watched a few episodes. I haven't been able to find the one episode that says, "Hey, oh, this was great. Let's keep watching it," because it's just been odd to me. So
For me, it was the Weeping Angels episode back, way back.
Blink.
Yeah.
I have honestly
episode.
never watched it.
See, there you go.
That's it. I refused to watch it for the longest time until a buddy of mine sat me down and was like, just watch this episode. And if you hate this episode, I'll never bring it up again. And then we ended up watching like half that season. And then I went back and binge watched like everything else.
All right, so that was your gateway then.
Yeah.
All right, so
Okay.
watch the episode, and if you hate it, I will continue
All
to
right.
bring it up.
Yes, you're not going to stop. I know that. All right, so what season is Blink in?
I pull it up.
Hey,
It's
Blinken.
Yeah.
David Tennant
I am not sure.
and
What are you doing up there? Guessing? Guess it's coming. Anyway, wrong movie. That's not sci-fi, but still. All right.
Whew.
All right. So, and John says Star Wars fans, they ruined Star Wars.
Tim, season 3, episode 10.
Season 3, episode 10. All right,
Hey,
I will
there
check
you
it
go.
out because I think the entire Doctor Who run is on HBO Max right now, I believe.
It is.
So I have that. I'll check it out. All right. So season 3, episode 10.
I will
Yeah.
message it to you so you don't forget it.
So it got me hooked.
See,
I
I heard.
actually got hooked on the first episode with Rose, which is ridiculous because nobody ever does that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good episode though, but
Right, but my parents had watched Doctor Who originally, and then when BBC brought it back, we had BBC America. My dad saw it on the TV Guide thing, and he's like, "Hey, we should try watching this." I'm like, "Okay." And like the plastic dumpster part totally was the what is
Yeah.
this crap? This is the stupidest thing I've ever watched. And then the end of the episode, I'm like, "Okay, so when's the next episode?" Like,
Drayton says Cassandra the sentient facelift.
I mean that's pretty good.
I don't know what that means, but okay, we'll go with it.
It's really funny.
Travis says I've got this on the 65-inch in the living room. This is becoming a thing on Monday. Awesome.
I am so sorry, Travis.
There's a whole lot of us on a
Yeah.
There
65
is not
TV.
enough makeup for a
There's
65
not.
inch TV. I am sorry.
How about that? How about that
My
big old
shit.
glare going for you?
There's not enough booze
My-
for me to be on a 65
Yeah.
inch TV.
Moisturize me.
My shit moisturized me. Oh man.
All right. So cool. So you picked Kylo. I think most of us were in agreement with that he needed to be better written. Jenny from Doctor Who, you also felt that she should have been better written.
Mhm.
All right. So Devon, you started to talk about one of your 2 picks. So tell us about your picks.
So the one that I got for that I was allowed to use was director Michael Bay.
Allowed.
Chill out with all the explosions, dude. Give us a good story. Chill out with the explosions. I get it. They're giant transformers. They have guns. We understand that. They don't need to have explosions every 5 seconds going behind them. Shia LaBeouf does not need to be screaming and running at the same time. And you don't need a girl who is either Megan Fox or a blonde chick that's about the same size as Megan Fox. I mean, let's just be honest. There's not a reason for all the explosions. Unless you're doing a war movie. But, I mean, that's a personal...
Technically,
for me.
Transformers is a war movie.
You know what? I don't want to hear it.
You know
I
what
mean,
he meant,
I
Tim.
agree with you very strongly about Michael Bay. I have a very, I mean, it's like Michael Bay. You know, he somebody rolls up in a car, they shut the door, the car explodes. You know, somebody's buying a car, they sign their name on, they drop the pencil on the desk explodes. You know, those are over exaggerations, of course, but
Yeah, I
Are
mean, it's
they
not.
really?
It's not Mission Impossible. The person did not listen to a message that was going to explode in 10 seconds.
right. It gets a little over the top with Michael Bay. And so, yeah, but just about everything, I would agree about everything he needs to do, or he does, needs to be better written.
I mean, in all seriousness, the explosions would not be a bad thing if the stories were good. But they're crap. So,
John says, okay, Tim watches Blink, Kathleen watches episode 9, Nick watches the Star Wars holiday special. That's just rude, John. And they all come back
That was
next
one of us he
episode with
loves
their
the
honest
most.
opinions.
I'd watch that.
I can really tell which one of us he loves the most. You get to watch Blink.
Yeah. There's a disadvantage going on here.
I don't know. Have you guys seen the holiday special?
Yes.
Yeah.
Although he didn't
don't
say,
get to watch the Lego version instead.
I was going to say, he
Nick.
didn't say it couldn't be the Lego version.
We're gonna make him watch the old one though.
You need
I mean,
the
come
B.
on.
Arthur musical number.
Yeah.
I'm
You
totally
keep trying
fine
for
with
that.
I am gonna keep pushing for it, like Mick pushes for Cat Taylor Swift. Okay, it's just
All right, so
sorry. It had been 39 minutes and 40 minutes, and nobody has
40
mentioned it
minutes and no Cat Tay Tay mentions. All right, so moving on. So I love the John.
It's a classic, It's like Beethoven's, Fifth Symphony, right up there.
Flight of the Valkyrie, right
That
there.
might be a slight overstatement. Maybe a little one.
I love you, Tasty Cat. Oh boy.
And we have reached my favorite part of the night, where the 3-second delay is just enough that we're doing something, and then I hear John cackling in the other room.
Purr. All right, so we talked about Michael Bay. Let's keep going here because we want to make sure we get to everything.
And then the other person I had is from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Zaphod Beeblebrox.
Zaphod
Beeblebrox.
All
Just
right.
needs less screen time. You know what? I get that he's a major part in the aspect of he owns the ship, and that the the whole thing has to like deal with him being the president of the galaxy. But there's less screen. I need less screen time of him and more screen time of Marvin, because people can relate to Marvin a lot more.
More screen time of Zooey Deschanel.
That's never a bad thing.
All right, Drayton also says we all must watch Plan 9 from Outer Space. Is that animated one where they all had like the number 9 on them somewhere?
No.
No, that's the Michael Bay movie. Don't watch
That's
it.
a Michael Bay movie.
No, I've seen Plan 9. It's a lot older than the movie you're thinking of. I know what you're thinking of.
Yeah, I'm not thinking of that. No, I'm thinking of something different.
Yeah, there was an animated movie a couple years,
Yeah.
not a couple years back, but a few years back.
They were like puppets, right? They looked
I
like
think
puppets
so.
or something.
Yeah. I don't remember what that. Double feature: Ed Wood, then
Wood.
Plan 9. Are we just like picking the worst movies known to man and like throwing them out there now?
No, because he hasn't said Dune yet.
Mick will never say Dune. I don't think he would honestly.
You didn't say worst movies though.
I don't think that Mick would wish that on anyone.
No,
I'm
not
honestly.
that horrible of a person.
I do.
We'll find out on Friday.
I
won't
am
we?
cautiously optimistic about the remake. Cautiously optimistic. But that's about it.
It comes out Friday? On the Thursday?
Well, yeah,
Well,
it's I
It
guess
has
technically
gotten decent
10
reviews.
o'clock. 10 o'clock on Thursday. It has had decent reviews.
Mick says he likes both Ed Wood and Plan 9.
I
Okay.
liked Plan 9, but I go for movies that are considered bad. Like I love watching
Wasn't it just remind me? It's been years since I've seen Ed Wood, but wasn't that the one that was like like they said the Truman Show was like a jump off of that one? With pretty similar story. Like somebody doesn't know that they're living in a TV show. Wasn't that what Ed Wood was about?
It's been a long time since I've seen Ed Wood.
Okay.
Did they
Let's see.
Make it or
It wasn't. I've seen worse, but I mean,
You must include the inventor of the Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster.
I could go for one of those right now.
And Kathleen just wants to watch Jason Momoa.
I said cautiously optimistic.
I want to watch Jason Momoa
just not an Aquaman 2.
shirtless.
If anyone comes on Real Combat with Dune, they will be immediately disqualified.
Challenge accepted, Mr. Manhattan.
All right.
If somebody could convince Mick to watch Dune, that would be impressive.
Tim, I do have to say there is one little secret add-on I do want to throw in there as well.
All right, go for it.
I was thinking about this. I do want to get rid of Donald Gennaro from Jurassic Park.
who's that?
He's the one. Exactly the point. He has no point in the movie. He's the one who's supposed to be like the investors had sent him to watch the park or to learn the park and see what he's accomplished so far with their money. And then he was like writing it out. Basically, the best way to put it, he's the guy who dies on the toilet.
Oh, the lawyer.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that guy.
I love that part.
That's not
Oh,
a
he's
start.
hiding.
He's
Can we
con-
just
Yeah,
have
yeah,
like
yeah.
more of the death
He's-
scene?
He's
Like-
just comic relief at that point. You know, you
True.
get killed on the crapper, you're a running joke. Let's see. Travis Foley says already signed up for the HBO Max Friday release, but have no expectations.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things. It's like watch it to like see if it's an improvement or if it's just going to be, well, another Dune.
Right.
And then Mick also says Mark versus Devon on Real Combat on Wednesday.
I have
Possibly.
another interview that I'm doing on Wednesday, so it will depend.
Yeah, I have a quick meeting with somebody, but I might be able to Mick depending on the time.
All right. Drake now says in the 1950 Wood directed several low-budget science fiction, crime, and horror films that later became cult classics. And John also says that you have to keep the lawyer. The dinosaurs prove that they aren't all bad by eating him.
Fair. Fair.
All right. So for my picks to round this all out, I stayed inside of Marvel. And my first pick is somebody who both needs less screen time and needs to be better written. He needs less screen time in Defenders, and he needs to be better cast and better written in his own show, and that's Iron Fist.
That's how I felt you were going with that.
I cannot stand who they picked for Iron Fist. He's just a whiny crybaby to me, and I can't stand him. I have refused to watch Defenders more than I started watching like the first episode of it because I love the Luke Cage series. I love the Jessica Jones series.
Yeah.
I loved Daredevil. I loved everything else that Netflix had done Marvel wise. Okay. I was really hyped for Iron Fist. Really, really excited. And then they gave me that.
Yeah.
By the way, Mick says 7 p.m. if you're interested.
I'll let you know.
So, but yeah, so Iron Fist, I was extremely disappointed in. I would love to see him be recast. I would love to see him be better written because I thought the whole Solo series was you know there should have been so much better.
Yeah,
So much
I'd like
better.
to see Power Couple.
Yeah.
Him and Luke Cage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Take that comic run, turn it into that show. That would have been good.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big Luke Cage fan anyway, so for me, you know, anytime I can get Luke Cage on screen, I'm pretty happy. But honestly, I'd love to see Luke Cage get his own major motion picture. And you know, now that he's had a series, he's been in Defenders, a secondary series.
Yeah,
You know,
they got to go with that same guy though.
oh yeah, he's amazing.
He did so good. in
He's
that role.
amazing as Luke Cage, just absolutely brilliant.
Just don't do what you always do, DC, and recast TV shows and movies.
Yeah.
Like just this one time. Just
All right, and then my second pick is somebody who's came to be seen as comic relief, but in the comic books he was anything but, and he was one of the few people that could take on Thanos one-on-one, and in the comics has actually beaten Thanos. And that's Drax the Destroyer from Guardians of the Galaxy. I either need him to be rewritten to be a stronger, more physically intimidating character, and or get less screen time. Because the way that they have Dave Bautista playing him, to me, is more of the humorous run, you know. And I don't mind some of the jokes because that's just kind of the way that those movies are written, and I get that,
right.
you know, and
Yeah.
and that's kind of how James Gunn does some of his stuff. Even with, you know, Suicide Squad, you can see it in there. You know,
He likes
There's
to
always
have yeah.
there's always somebody who's the big, you know, silly, tough, you know, comic relief. I get that, but you know, Drax was kind of a stud in the comics. You know, I mean, you really couldn't mess with him. And in this, he's like, you know, I don't like that vest. It makes my nipples hurt.
Yeah.
So
I can see that. Yeah, James Gunn likes a comedy character for sure.
yeah,
But like Kathleen just brought up a good point. How do you know who you're talking about? You couldn't see him.
Right. How do you know that I'm here?
his moves are so imperceptible.
How did you know I was still on screen, Devon?
Stealing John Cena's gimmick, you know, even in the movies.
So yeah, absolutely. He said, Drayton says, I would like to see all the major franchises trashed rather, and get more fresh sci-fi movies. I think there's room for both. I do. I think there's room for. I'm always up for new sci-fi stuff. You know, something that pushes the boundaries. There's a couple things coming out right now, or have come out. Like Apple TV Plus. I want to watch the Foundation, the Isaac Asimov series. I want to watch that. I haven't had time to yet, but that's coming up here. Probably this next coming week, I'll be able to watch that.
I want to watch C by with Jason
Oh yeah,
Momoa.
with
I have
Momoa.
yet to see it because of just like the way things have been working out. And
See,
but
see what you did there.
Ted Lasso
I
is
see what you did there.
Ted Lasso's always got to get a thumbs up and an instant watch every week. So
There you go. All right. Well, cool. So I think that's a pretty good selection. We had Booster Gold and Ghost Rider. We had Ben from Treasure Planet. The mom from Independence Day that goes on the roof to get her house blown up.
It was the friend of the mom.
The friend of the mom.
yeah,
That's
it wasn't
right.
even the mom, Tim. Jeez.
It's
Right.
such a character distinction.
Huge characters. I love the fact that we're having to identify her by what she did because there wasn't a name for her. Kylo Ren, Jenny from Doctor Who, apparently from Alabama, and then there's Ray and Bay for Devon and along. Who else did you pick as well? Who's the other one you?
Neil Brock.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, him. And then, of course, Drax and Iron Fist. So if you guys agree or disagree with any of our picks, of course, you guys are more than welcome to put those comments in the comment section. And Drayton says Tiffany. Did she have a name? Is that what he's alluding to?
Or is he talking about
Maybe.
Tiffany, like the singer?
I think I'm a clone now by Weird Al. All right, guys. As a refresher, remind everybody where they can find the Fandom Effect and why they should be listening to you guys.
Yeah, so any major podcast platform, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, the whole good old shebang. Facebook and Twitter at Fandom Effect. Obviously, like I said, you can follow stuff on Twitch as well. My name right there, Bushido Geek, is the Twitch stuff. We'll do Pure X stuff on Twitch. And really, we just trying to push the envelope of why people get so passionate about different fandoms, and then find new things to get into ourselves and for other people as well, to try to just find different people to find some new passion. Like if Tim suddenly gets into Doctor Who, experiences like that is kind of what I'm trying to find. Like people who can give stuff a try and find something new that who knows where it could lead them.
All right.
Personally, like how you said, if Tim gets into Doctor Who. No, Tim will get into Doctor Who. Let's be honest.
I will go watch Blink. I'll make that happen.
It's the good hook. It's the good hook episode for Doctor Who.
It really is.
Watch it with your daughter. Have some you can make it a family show.
Kendall already likes it.
Yeah, and my wife likes Doctor Who as well.
Ooh.
And that's kind of funny to me because my wife's not a real big into sci-fi, but she likes Doctor Who.
I think because it's an easier sci-fi to like. And
I think there was I can't be positive, but there may have been a David Tennant tie-in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So, and she likes the accents. So anyway. All right. Well, cool.
And as a reminder, last Friday, we released our interview with Clayton Sandell. He's been known as the Star Wars guy at both ABC News and Now Newsy. You'll want to watch his documentary called The Force of Sound, which shows how the sounds of Star Wars, The Last Jedi, came to be. Let's watch that promo.
You were part of a group that brought an amazing documentary. The documentary is called The Force of Sound.
Hey, this is Clayton Sandell, and welcome to the Funny Science Fiction Podcast.
And you can still find that episode of Funny Science Fiction on our YouTube channel and your favorite audio podcast providers. And remember, your subscription to our YouTube channel is a major help. So please don't forget to click the like and subscribe button as you see below as you watch our videos.
Right. And coming up this week, we release an episode with voice actor Michael Bell. Mom, make sure you're paying attention to this promo.
It's playtime! Hello, this is Michael Bell. Welcome to the funny science fiction podcast. Gosling's mother, you want to play?
And you're an adult, but that's how you just got grounded.
Oh yeah, I am in so much trouble right now.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I texted her with you, so you're still watching, right? I've got some splaining to do.
Lucy.
So backstory: Kathleen's mom didn't like Quacker Jack.
I was straight up lifetime banned from watching Darkwing Duck. After, as a teeny tiny little child, I thought it was appropriate to tell a grown up to suck gas, evildoer.
So Michael Bell, as you can hear just from that introductory there, Michael Bell is an amazing. Let's see. John's trying to kiss up for you.
He's also the one who bought me Darkwing Duck on DVD. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let Mom forget that. John
Selling
bought it.
everything.
John
So, but Michael Bell, as you heard, is an amazing voiceover artist. He's been part of many things you've watched and listened to over the years. Just as an example of a few things that you could expect to find Michael Bell in, he was Zan and Gleek on Super Friends. He's Duke from G.I. Joe, Prowl from Transformers, Lance from Voltron, Handy Smurf. I bet you can't guess what show that was. Yep, Transformers. No, that was Smurfs. And of course, he was General Dodonna from Star Wars Rebels. And not to mention that Michael clued us in on and dropped some really cool Star Wars New Hope trivia on us. He does a voiceover in that movie, but you'll have to listen to the episode to find out what he did and why. Because he is not credited in the credits for it. He explains it all, but it's a really cool thing. And I actually went home and fired up New Hope so that I could find it and figure out what was going on. So
Wow.
it's pretty cool.
Wow, Tim watches New Hope for the 15,000th time, but still hasn't watched Doctor Who.
Well, yeah. And there's Kathleen's signed picture from Michael Bell.
With my happy green screen attacking it for some stupid reason.
Because green screen, because it can.
It's totally just in the same little slip with my Carol Baskin one because I haven't gotten any.
So make sure you tune on into YouTube this Friday, or of course you can listen to it on wherever you find your audio podcasts, wherever that may be. You'll be able to find it and listen to it there.
All right, guys. That's our show. We're actually early.
We're a couple minutes early tonight. We're
So
not.
we have 3 minutes of nonsense still. 2.5 minutes of nonsense.
2.5.
2.5
Well,
minutes
I mean, we can
nonsense.
go back and play the promos again if anybody
Awkward
wants to.
silence.
Nah, you know
My-
what,
Oh,
Tim?
yeah.
I even picked out a third
Yeah, all the
person for
promos.
you to try to waste the time, but no.
Yeah.
no.
Hey Tim, my dad sent you a picture of the Batman carrying the tired Superman.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can.
Can you do it in 2 minutes, Tim?
Well, it's not like we're trying to play beat the
2
clock
minutes and
anymore.
7 seconds.
We used, back on the network days, we had to try and be off right at a certain time
Right.
to make sure that.
No, we're just
Yeah, we could do
9-3.
karaoke.
times don't matter.
Nothing matters.
We could all do
All right,
karaoke so that we could audition for the Scene Snobs musical. Because that's what
Yeah.
Nick's gonna make happen.
And
I
there
was
you go.
told I'm not allowed to try out.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
That's pretty good.
I feel like they should have sharpied a
That's
mustache
nice.
onto that picture.
That is nice.
That's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Well, so I mean, there's definitely that.
You could show the video of Nick being a geisha again.
Honestly,
He
I
doesn't
actually,
have any
I'll be
tape.
honest, I removed that from the video files because I figured Nick didn't want me showing it again.
I am working on getting my audition track together for the Scene Snobs musical. I am.
And
I
Tim
would tell
can
you I was lying.
Tim
but
can sing with us for us. No, Tim can't.
I've heard you sing. You have a beautiful voice.
I have a voice. There is a
You
voice.
have a
attached.
beautiful voice. Your tater tots loved that song.
Well, that was also heavily fueled by Guinness and Jameson. So
Yes, it was. The only reason I wasn't drinking is because I couldn't.
you were in utero
I was growing a tiny person.
with child, as they used to say.
All
So
right.
there's that. We have stretched this
Good
out for
night,
far
guys.
too long.
I'm done.
We have
All
stretched
right.
this out for everything that it can be. Thank you guys. Thanks, Mark and Devon, for coming here. Thanks, guys, everyone in the
course.
audience for listening, participating, and mostly putting up with our weekly shenanigans.
Thank you for supporting me, Mom. I need it.
All right. Don't forget to subscribe. Click like and subscribe on this video. Do it. You're going to miss out on cool stuff otherwise. All right. See you guys. Bye-bye. On behalf of the rest of the hosts of Funny Science Fiction, we'd like to thank you for listening to this episode. If you'd like to be a guest on one of our future episodes, please contact us by means of our Facebook group, Funny Science Fiction. You can find us on Twitter or Instagram using the handle @FunnySciFi, or you can go to DraytonAllen.com and click the Contact Me link at the bottom of the page. Thanks again. Hope you enjoyed the episode.